Joke number 1. Man thinks his wife has a lover a florist. Bob, I think my wife has a lover a florist. Andy, how do you know? Bob, when I returned home after work, I found freshly gathered roses on the bed. Andy, well, and I think my wife has a lover a plumber. Bob, how do you know? Andy, when I returned home after work, I found a plumber lying on the bed. Joke number 2. Blonde walks into a doctor's office and says, "Doctor, what's the problem with me? When I touch my arm, ouch, it hurts. When I touch my leg, ouch, it hurts. When I touch my head, ouch, it hurts. When I touch my chest, ouch, it really hurts." The doctor replies, "Your finger is broken." Joke no 3. A blonde cop pulls over a blonde and asks for her driver's license. The blonde starts looking through her car, then asks, what are they again? The blonde cop replies, "Ugh, it's the thing in your purse with your picture on it." "Oh yeah," says the blonde, who reaches in her purse, pulls out a compact mirror, and hands it over. The blonde cop opens it, takes a look inside, hands it back, and says, "I'm sorry, ma'am. If I knew you were a cop, I wouldn't have pulled you over." Joke number 4. A blonde calls her boyfriend and says, "Please come over here and help me. I have a killer jigsaw puzzle, and I can't figure out how to get started." Her boyfriend asks, "What is it supposed to be when it's finished?" The blonde says, "According to the picture on the box, it's a rooster." Her boyfriend decides to go over and help with the puzzle. She lets him in and shows him where she has the puzzle spread all over the table. He studies the pieces for a moment, then looks at the box, then turns to her and says, "First of all, no matter what we do, we're not going to be able to assemble these pieces into anything resembling a rooster." He then takes her hand and says, "Secondly, I want you to relax. Let's have a nice cup of tea and then," he said with a deep sigh, "let's put all these cornflakes back in the box." Joke number 5. The baby pigeon complained to his mother before flying a long distance, "I can't make it. I'll get too tired." His mother replied, "Don't worry. I'll tie a piece of string to one of your legs and the other end to mine." The baby started to cry. "What's wrong?" asked the mother sympathetically. "I don't want to end up being pigeon-toed." Joke number 6. A woman awakes during the night to find that her husband was not in their bed. She puts on her robe and goes downstairs to look for him. She finds him sitting at the kitchen table with a hot cup of coffee in front of him. He appears to be in deep thought, just staring at the wall. She watches as he wiped a tear from his eye and takes a sip of his coffee. "What's the matter, dear?" she whispers as she steps into the room. "Why are you down here at this time of night?" The husband looks up from his coffee and says, "Do you remember 20 years ago when we were dating, and you were only 16? He asks solemnly. The wife is touched to tears, thinking that her husband is so caring and sensitive. "Yes, I do," she replies. The husband paused. The words were not coming easily. "Do you remember when your father caught us in the back seat of my car making love?" "Yes, I remember," said the wife, lowering herself into a chair beside him. The husband continued, "Do you remember when he shoved the shotgun in my face and said, 'Either you marry my daughter, or I will send you to jail for 20 years. "I remember that too," she replied softly. He wiped another tear from his cheek and said, "I would have gotten out today." Joke number 7. Queen Elizabeth and Dolly Parton die on the same day, and both go before an angel to find out if they'll be admitted to heaven. Unfortunately, there's only one space left that day, so the angel must decide which of them gets in. The angel asks Dolly if there's some particular reason why she should go to heaven. Dolly takes off her top and says, "Look at these, they're the most perfect breasts God ever created, and I'm sure it will please God to be able to see them every day for eternity." The angel thanks Dolly and asks Her Majesty the same question. The queen takes a bottle of Perrier out of her purse and drinks it down, then pees into a toilet and pulls the lever. The angel says, "Okay, Your Majesty, you may go in." Dolly is outraged and asked, "What was that all about?" I show you two of God's own perfect creations and you turn me down. She pees into a toilet and she gets in. Would you explain that to me? Sorry, Dolly, says the angel, but even in heaven a royal flush beats a pair no matter how big they are.